It's about that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
And it's on.
Running to your friends, come on.
Come on, come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on tonight.
Once again, it's on. You're still troubled in your home. Got your tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk. It's good. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your well. Keep the moving spirit flowing because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on. Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show when people at night. That's right. It is the Sinclair Show coming to you live and direct, if you will. And if you don't, then you don't. Get this mic correct, as we all like to say. Look here, people. First of all, I want to thank y'all for joining in. Y'all could have been anywhere, but you here with your boy, Uncle Cindy Sin. And tonight we got some things to talk about. Because since the last time I saw you, it's been some other things going on in the system. All right. So let me begin this by doing a couple of things here. Let me take that off. Y'all just don't know, boy. It's hard sometimes having to do it all. And tonight I got to do it all. All right. So, first, let me start by saying who's out here first on the line today. Why is this thing so, mic check? That might be a little bit better. I don't know, though. Let me see if that's better. One of these is going to be better at some point. I don't know when, though. But anyway, so let me see who was the first person out here tonight. First person was Jay Dizzle. What's up, Jay Dizzle? Glad that you could join in and let the world see that you was popping off. Let me go and see. Let me see. There he is. Next up was Big Rod. What's going on, Big Rod? Glad to see you in the house. Jay Dizzle always doing something. Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchett, talking about she from Huntsville, Alabama, and today is her birthday. Today is her birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Lady Elegance Pritchett. Stop putting them other vowels in her name. Lady Cole, glad to see you tonight. Who else we got out here? Big Ron talking about Happy New Year. Oh, that's right. We ain't been on in a minute, have we? All right, cool. No problem. Now, let me tell y'all something. Took me a little holiday time off. Plus, truth be told, man, I had got under the weather with the little illness. It wasn't the COVID. Let me be clear, because you got to be specific these days when you tell somebody you were sick, because everybody started thinking you had COVID. No, I did not. No COVID for I. All right? So we all clear on that. It was not the vid. You know what? I got to do something. Y'all hold on for a second. I'm not really feeling this. Check 1, 2. That feels a lot better. Is that better for y'all? All right. Nikki Carter, what's up? Talking about where's the test results? First of all, Nikki Carter, good evening and happy new year to you, but I ain't got to show no test result because I just told you I ain't had no vid. That's part of the problem with my people right there. First thing y'all want to do is assume the worst for a brother. No videration for me. There was no COVID in place. This was all about just a little normalcy. You know, some of the people around y'all be coughing and stuff. Hey, mama, what's going on? Matter of fact, let me tell y'all something funny about mama. Y'all ever be sick and then your mama be wanting to check on you, be wanting to check on your your temperature and everything. Look, true story, y'all. I was sick. So mama decided she was gonna come make sure everything was good with her brother, right? This what she did, y'all. So when she came to check on me, she had a little bag like Nurse Betty. And she had the thermometer, first of all. Now, mind you, I'd already taken the COVID test, so I knew I ain't have the vid. But mama came with a little Nurse Betty bag, and she had the thermometer, the little one that you point at your head and you shoot. She had the little the little thing that you wrap around your arm to check your blood pressure. She had that. And she had the little device to as old folks like to say, to check your sugar. So, true story now, true story. I ain't no capping in here. So, first thing that happens is mama approaches and she takes out she laying out her kit like she about to do surgery or something, which was already a little nervous situation. So she takes it out and she points it at my head. But y'all ever seen somebody point a a thermometer at your head like they got like a pistol or something? So I noticed, she got it pointing at my head like she about to give me a two tap. So I'm looking at it, but I let her go ahead. And it pop it off and it say, I think I had like a 97 point something, no fever for me. Everything was lovely on that. And then she said, I got to check your blood pressure. So I'm like, if I just told you I'm chilling, it's all good. We don't need to do the blood pressure thing. So mama said, no, I'm going to check your blood pressure. And she was a little aggressive with it, I might add. But since that's my mama, I'm like, all right, mama, I'm going to let you do that. So, y'all, she takes the thing and she wraps it around my arm, but she put it so tight, it felt like, how when a little air started going in it felt like she was pulling the skin off my arm. So, I'm like, hey, what you doing? This is kind of hurting, right? Why mama gonna say, shut up, you can't be talking when you taking your blood pressure? First of all, what kind of nurse say that anyway? That already let you know she ain't no nurse. So it just got me to the point where I got to thinking, and I'm like, this is becoming a pretty aggressive situation. I might need to, get a little reins on this or something, because she doing the most. So I let her do that. And then after she did that, mind you, mama like 80-some years old. So now this is funny. It wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. So after she done took the temperature is all good, the blood pressure all good. Then her little hand shaking, right? And she talking about now I gotta prick your finger. I'm like, absolutely not. You're not finna prick me, your hand shaking. Plus, I'm already good on all fronts. And what in the world does your sugar got to do with you having the flu? We not doing that part of it. Tell me, I know how to take your sugar. Not with them little shaky hands. You be in here about to amputate my finger. So I had to decline to have the medical procedure known as checking my blood sugar. But anyway, so everything came out all good. But I need y'all to be careful out here. Y'all need to start back putting a mask on too, because you ain't got to get COVID. Nowadays, they got the hold on, what is y'all talking about? Nikki Carter talking about I need to relax. Big Rod talking about your mama can tell you to do anything. You don't want the talk. I brought you in this world, now I take you out. Big Rod, look here. Mama, I give mama a lot of latitude, but I'm telling you what we wasn't getting ready to do. I wasn't getting ready to let her little shaky hand take that needle out and get the prick in my finger. Not going to happen. Nope. I don't even like needles like that, no way. So let's be clear. I don't even like when the medical professionals, Nikki Carter talking about, so you didn't listen to your mama? Nope. I got limits. When you start violating the health and safety protocols, meaning my digits, and y'all remember that phrase digits, because I learned some stuff this week. We're going to talk about your boy Trump. But anyway, I let mama check my vitals, and the vitals came out good, minus the sugar, because we ain't rocking with no sugar checking. I ain't letting nobody with a steady hand do it. I certainly ain't letting mama do it. And she was too enthusiastic anyway. Let's just call it what it was. She was entirely too happy and eager to want to prick my finger. So I had to shut that down. All right. Excuse me. Y'all done did the same thing. Stop acting brand new. Anyway, so everything came out all good. But again, I'm letting y'all know y'all got to keep an eye on. Hold on, let me see what Johnny talking about. You lucky she didn't try to take your temperature the old-fashioned way, like when you was a baby. Man, I'm a grown man. I control what transpires with me. Even when I go to the Nikki Cotton talking about she should have just stabbed you. You know what? Do you go in there and stab them bad kids that you got? You know what? I had told myself that I was going to be a pleasant person in 2024. Matter of fact, let me tell y'all what I decided. My Cassandra Key, what's going on? Glad to see you on the show tonight. I came up, it ain't even a New Year's resolution, but I came up with a New Year's thought. And my New Year's thought is that I'm going to mind my own business, and I encourage y'all to do the same thing. I'm going to drink at least 28 ounces of water a day, which I already do. And I'm going to walk at least 3 miles a day. Nikki Carter talking about keep your word and stay pleasant. Hey, I'm trying to stay pleasant. I'm trying. But it ain't easy because it's some people out there like you, Nikki Carter, be testing my resolve. All right? But remember that, people. That's not a New Year's resolution. It is a goal, not a resolution, a goal. And my goal is, and maybe you all want to join along, mind your own business. For some of y'all, that's absolutely positively impossible. Mind your own business, walk at least 3 miles a day, and drink at least 28 ounces of water. And we're going to see if your life changes. It ought to change just from you minding your own business. But we'll see. All right. Now, what else we got? What else we got? Is it anything that I want to talk to y'all about? Oh, yeah. Before we get into the to the matters at hand, man, did y'all see Uncle Shay in Club Shay Shay and the Cat Williams interview? Man, that dude got 30+ million watches. I'm feeling some kind of way. Matter of fact, I might need to call Cat Williams and see if I can get him to come on the Sinclair show and get my numbers up. Because they tell me if you get 30 million views, you can get, I think he said over $200,000 for that. Y'all been, you know what? I've been toting y'all around for years. Y'all better start getting, clicking and getting your friends to click on. Y'all shortchanging the brother. Shannon Sharp got Cat Williams. Next thing you know, he doing it big. Anyway, Cat Williams was talking about everybody really dogging out Steve Harvey and old Snake Cedric the Entertainer. But it is what it is. We'll talk about that another day. Tonight's topics, people. As y'all probably saw the little advertisement, tonight's topic is about two things. Former President Trump. Let me tell y'all something. Trump seems to be finally getting his just due in a couple of different court cases. But one in particular, Trump has challenged this little thing to go to the appellate court. And if y'all have been paying attention, he has been trying since January the 6th, if not before, of a couple of years back when he had to get up out of office. He's been trying to tell everybody that anything he did while he was the president constitutes him having immunity. And because he's saying that presidents have immunity, that means all these trumped up charges and things that he said y'all trying to put on him, he said he ain't got to rock with it. Well, he's been prolonging, going through courts and then appealing. So he tried to go straight to the Supreme Court. Well, actually, the Attorney General went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, hey, we can't hear it. We want this to go through the appellate process. So then the appellate court takes it up. And mind you, he got about 6 or 7 different cases out there. Why is that important? One of the cases that Donald Trump has out there is talking about it from the standpoint of what it means if you make the decision. Hold on, what Big Rod talking about? Big Rod said, I went to high school with one of the 3 judges. Oh, Big Rod, go on, call him up and tell him to do the right thing. But one of the 3 judges in D.C. that was, and matter of fact, to clear it up and to get you along the pace of it, the appellate court decided that they would hear or take into consideration what Trump was saying. And so to do that, they gave both the prosecutors and Donald Trump, or his lawyers rather, an opportunity to come before the appellate court and make their arguments related specifically to immunity. So his attorneys go up in there, and anybody, and you could go online, you could go to YouTube, you could go to the internet, and you can hear the conversation and dialogue that the judges had with his attorneys. And it says former President Trump's legal team suggested Tuesday that even a president directing SEAL Team 6, if you don't know who SEAL Team 6 is, SEAL Team 6 is a specialized group of the military whom come under the direction and purview of the commander-in-chief, which in the United States is the president of the United States. Andy Moore, good afternoon. Glad to see you. And so, Tuesday, the president's lawyer said that even if he directed SEAL Team 6 to kill a political opponent, an action would be barred from prosecution given a former executive's broad immunity to a criminal prosecution. The hypothetical was presented to Trump's attorney, John Sauer, who answered with a qualified yes, that a former president would be immune from prosecution on that matter or even on selling pardons. In a hearing that reviewed a motion from Trump's team to toss his election interference charge, Sayar argued that the president can only be criminally prosecuted if they have already been tried and convicted by the Senate. He said he would have to be impeached and convicted, Sayar replied. That argument received heavy pushback from the 3-judge panel of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, as well as the team of special counsel Jack Smith. Excuse me. Now, let me say this to you. First of all, for all of my Republican cohorts, my Democrat cohorts, and of course, my independent brothers and sisters, I want you all first, if you are Republican, to think about what you are actually co-signing if Donald Trump is the leading candidate for your presidential nomination currently. You are attempting to put someone back in power who is saying that as president, if I order the murder of someone or even do it myself, if the Senate does not impeach me, then I cannot be held accountable. Republicans, let me tell you something. Y'all cannot in any form or fashion be that naive, stupid, and or dumb. And I'm not saying that to insult you all. I'm saying that you couldn't possibly be that thirsty to have Donald Trump in office. It's got to be some Republicans somewhere that you believe hold similar values that meet the logic and reasoning test that you could put up in place of Donald Trump. Because I'm going to say this to you, and I mean this with no disrespect. There is absolutely no way possible that any logical or reasonable-minded person would believe that y'all forefathers who drafted the Constitution were stating as a matter of principle that one could commit crimes, knowingly commit crimes, and not be held accountable if the Senate decided not to impeach. Now, let me tell you why I believe that. Because the body of government, Congress and the Senate, are voted for along party lines. And basically, Big Rod said Trump lawyers forgot that while in office, the president have lawyers that guide him in what he can and can't do as lawful orders. Trump is using the court system to delay upcoming trials. Absolutely. But before my Anglo-Saxon and potentially minority supporters of Trump, I need y'all to get back to the basics of common sense. Whether or not a president or someone who is in the Senate or Congress or even a sitting Supreme Court justice to be removed from office, you have a system that is known as impeachment. The reason why the forefathers, y'all forefathers, not mine, but the reason why the forefathers would not have left legal ramifications in the hands of a political body is because based on voters determine who wins Senate seats. And because we have a system that declares whichever party has the greater amount of Senate seats or House seats, their party is deemed to be in control of that body of government. Meaning, if more Republican senators win seats, then Republicans would have control over the Senate and therefore what actions the Senate took. Why is that important? That's important because then the forefathers would have known that the ability to impeach is not based on guilt or innocence. It would then be built on whether or not a particular political party who has the majority in terms of numbers had both the stomach and the willpower to impeach. Meaning if I'm a Democrat and the Democrats got control over the Senate and it's up to the Senate to impeach, and they decided they weren't going to impeach, it would be no measure or anything anybody could do about it. That is a political view. It is very different from talking about a legal perspective. Just because a body of government is unwilling to impeach does not mean that a crime has not been committed. Why is that important? Many of you might be asking. It's important because as the appellate judges were making a point, the point was, do you want us as an appellate judge and an appellate court to believe and render a judgment that your political homeboys and homegirls, if they have office, that means they would control whether or not somebody had committed a crime? That is not how the judicial government works. As a matter of fact, Judge Michelle Childs, a Biden opponent, noted that a president could resign rather than face impeachment. There lies another piece. Let me see what Big Rod said. Big Rod said, how we forget the only reason Trump wasn't impeached by the Senate was because the Republicans were in power. Absolutely. Now, think about what Judge Michelle Childs said. She brought up the point that impeachment only occurs with a sitting president or a sitting Supreme Court justice or a sitting senator. If you resign, then you cannot be impeached. So consider this. If the president were to order the assassination of a political rival, then knowing he was close to the end of his first political term, he could then resign from the office of the president, let time roll away, and then run for office again. See, this is what you guys don't understand, is that the only thing, well, not the only thing, but the primary thing that would prevent a president from being eligible to hold office, if not impeached, would be if he or she had served in 8 years as the president or had 2 full terms. Big Rod is representing his high school, talking about Columbia High School owns the Honorable Michelle Childs. All right, we're going to let you have her. We're going to see what Michelle does with this vote. But I say this to you all so to give you both knowledge and perspective. See, there would be a way for a person to resign and run for office again. And if you had already killed the person who was running against you, you'd be good to go, according to Trump's lawyers. James Pierce, a lawyer with Smith's office, forcefully pushed back against the notion that the mechanism to hold the president accountable for criminal actions should be weakened. He said this, and I quote, "What kind of world are we living in if a president orders a SEAL team to murder a political rival and then resign or is not impeached, that it is not a crime? I think that is an extraordinarily frightening future that should weigh heavily on the court's decision." At one point, Judge Florence Pan, another Biden appointee, noted that Trump's legal team argued essentially the opposite case when he faced a second impeachment, in this case for his conduct related to the January 6th attack on Capitol Hill. During that trial, Trump's attorney argued there was no need to censor Trump, as prosecutors could bring charges if there was any criminal conduct away. It seems many senators relied on that. Sayar later argued that the threat of prosecution could have a chilling effect on future president decisions. All right, so let me say this first and foremost. People, we ain't stupid. We are not about to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. When Trump did not want his Republican counterparts to impeach him, he said to them, "You're not the body that should determine if a crime was committed. If I committed a crime, then I should be prosecuted by the justice system." Now that the justice system is seeking to prosecute him, he's saying to them, "You're not the body to determine if a crime was committed. The only people that can hold me accountable is the political party." In America, there is no way y'all keep buying into this tomfoolery. Because let me say this, and I hope my Anglo-Saxon people don't get upset with me, because it seems that sometimes y'all get mad if I point out the obvious. The obvious in this case, if Donald Trump was Johnny Trump and a Negro, y'all wouldn't even be entertaining this foolishness. You mean to tell me right now, if a black senator were to say, "I'm not going to the Senate, you can't impeach me because it's up to the legal system to say whether or not I took a bribe or did anything else," would y'all listen to that? No, you wouldn't. Because what was the little, didn't they just put somebody out of the Republican Party because they found out that he was out there lying and scheming and taking bribes? What was the little half Latino dude, the dude that was from the LGBTQ community? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Republicans just kicked him out of his party. So you cannot have it both ways. And to be honest with you, that person is facing potential criminal charges as well. And I'm saying all of this because I need America for you all to start using your common sense. This is no longer about Republican or Democrat. This isn't about white or black. This isn't about rich or poor. This is about smart and ignorant. That's what this is about. Lady Elegance on her birthday coming through with the knowledge said the dude I'm talking about was George Santos. Look him up. Republicans just put him out. And see, we don't have to cross into the threshold of race in this case. I used as an example because I want those Anglo-Saxons. Good afternoon, Effie Shepherd, my armor bearer. Glad to see you. You can't keep running down this way because you feel some sort of kinship with Donald Trump because he talks like you talk at the barbecue. He says some of the same racist things that some people say, not all. And let me be clear and effective in my voice when I say this. When I'm talking about those like-minded individuals, I'm not talking about all of white America. Because there are white Americans who do not believe in being racist and shortchanging somebody because of their race. All white Americans are not negative. They don't want bad things to happen to somebody just because of the color of their skin. So we're not going to bundle everybody up, just like I tell white America, don't put all black folks in the same category. Big Ron said the guy from New York, however, it was New York Republican Party that pushed it. The House Republicans only kept him around as long as they could for his vote and push their agenda. Absolutely. But I'm saying this to you all, America, we got to stop the foolishness. Now, let me say this to you. And I want you to consider what I'm saying. And I want it to come out the right way so I don't see them black SUVs pull up outside the crib, which is this. If the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals agrees with Donald Trump and says that while in office, a president is immune from being in office or out of office if he commits a crime that the Senate is unwilling to impeach him for, he gets away with it. Then if Joe Biden is still the president, November the 20th of 2024, if he is still the president and he were to decide that he was going to order SEAL Team 6 to take the life of Donald Trump, then Donald Trump's attorneys is saying if the Senate is unwilling to prosecute him, he could not be prosecuted for killing an opponent. There is no way possible that that's what you guys want to begin. Because if you do this, and I'm saying if any of the courts, the appellate court or the Supreme Court, comes down on the side of Donald Trump and says that is the standard, then Joe Biden could say that the Constitution means nothing, that he could run for office again. That would mean that Barack Obama could put his name on the ballot, running for office again, and if voted on by the people, he could simply assume the role, even though the Constitution says you cannot serve greater than 2 terms, complete terms. So America, Republicans, the Supreme Court, the appeals court, white America, understand that the decision that you make is not going to be limited to Donald J. Trump. It is going to change the face of the United States as you know it, because once you set the precedence of saying the only people who can hold any criminal act of the president or alleged criminal act accountable is the party who is in power, you will come to regret that decision, because as sure as grits is groceries, you're going to find that somebody else not named Donald Trump is going to abuse the system. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it, even if it is not your political party. Because once the ruling is made, it will become the law of the land and the argument of the law of the land. So for all of y'all that's high-fiving and saying, yeah, I hope that they agree with Trump, that they say when you are the president, you could do whatever you want as long as you ain't impeached. Think to yourself, what would you do if the president decided, because he woke up in a bad mood, that he was going to require the military to shoot all black folks? And what if, as commander-in-chief, they did it? And then he resigned, therefore unable to be held accountable by the Senate. Big Rod said, also, why stop at a political appointee? What if he directed court members to be killed? Absolutely. And that's the reason why I'm saying to you all, you must absolutely, positively be concerned about how fast you are shooting to get these things done and accomplished. As some of you good folks like to say, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. I ain't gonna tell you who the rabbit is. All right? But I am saying to you, when you make a decision, don't think of it in terms of Donald Trump or the Republican you're trying to get in office. You better think of it in terms of the precedents that it will set. Because when you start having senators who decide, I ain't gonna run for office no more, no way, and I can help my party by killing the person that I'm running against, or the person running against me, because the next person up in line would not be an empathetic figure, and then I'm going to resign because I ain't have no intent to run again anyway. You might have hundreds of people who are willing to commit murder, take bribes, and do anything if they already know that I'm planning on stepping down anyway. Big Rod said Trump is great at creating mass confusion to get away with something. Absolutely. James, keep what's going on. So again, I want you guys to process this. And I want you to talk to your senators and your congressmen. If you happen to be dealing with a judge, I want you to talk to them and I want you to ask the tough questions. Are we prepared as a nation to set that precedent? Because if we are, and if they do, it will change the face of the United States. Especially when you got somebody like Clarence Thomas, and I don't even want to get on him. See, I told myself I wasn't. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about Donald Trump tonight, because I ain't even prepared for some of y'all little emotional roller coaster. But there is something else I wanted to talk about. And it is actually probably somewhat connected to Donald Trump, because y'all know that Donald Trump is facing a RICO charge down in Georgia. Because Fonnie Willis put the RICO charge down on Donald J. Now, let me tell y'all what's funny, and the reason why I'm bringing it up, not to talk about him and his RICO charge. I want to talk about your boy, for all of you folks that's out there. There's some Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug supporters. I've been keeping track of the case for you all, not for me, so that I would be in the know. And they have had this guy on the stand who is alleged, well, I'm not even going to say alleged, because he himself said that he was one of the co-founders of the gang/record company known as YSL, or Young Slime Life. And like many of the others who took the plea deal offered by the prosecution, and they agreed to tell what they knew and be honest and transparent about whether or not YSL was a gang, is a gang, who the members were their crimes committed, and what crimes that they may have witnessed. So they got a young man on the stand named YSL Tick, T-I-C-K. And I've been joking around for days. And if you get a chance, go out on the internet and look up the YSL RICO trial. This young man looks like Woody from Sanford and Son, Woodrow, if you will. The one Esther used to say, "You old fish-eyed fool," that Woody. And at first, I felt some kind of way. Because you know the streets, if you are testifying, if you get caught and you decide you're going to work with the prosecution, you are labeled a snitch and a rat, R-A-T. Now, so the streets had a problem with YSL Tick taking the plea agreement. Now, let me tell y'all something, and this is for my young folks. I'm talking to y'all specifically because y'all the ones most likely to wind up involved in a RICO case with some of your homies. This dude took the stand. And I guess when he took the stand, he decided he was going to act like he ain't know nothing. Now, for any of y'all thinking that trick works, it doesn't, because when you sign a plea agreement and you agree to testify truthfully, when you get up on that stand and start acting like you don't know nothing, and the prosecutor can prove that you was lying about something, that means your plea agreement is over. Nikki Carter said Tick's supposed to take the life sentence for the team. He wasn't even facing a life sentence. He was actually only facing like 20 years. I say 20 years like it ain't nothing, but that's neither here nor there. But let me tell y'all something. So Tick gets up on the stand, and initially he's going to be combative with the prosecution. This brother started talking about he don't know when his birthday is. He don't remember nothing. I can't say for sure. And he goes through this back and forth the first day. And I don't know what happened, but the prosecutor must have met with his attorney and said, well, we about to go ahead and violate this plea agreement. Because the second day he get on the stand, he started remembering some things. And mind you, in order to have a RICO case, your girl Nikki Carter said Tick done miscalculated his hand. She telling the truth. But in order for you to prove a RICO case, you only got to prove 2 or 3 elements. In this case, they only had to prove that there was a gang or organized criminal element or group who committed crimes. And it don't even have to be a certain type of crime. It could be scamming. It could be a violent crime. It could be a host of things. So by the second day, old Ticky Tick, Woodrow, Woody, whatever you want to call him, he started remembering things. And I'm going to tell y'all, I watched it feeling empathetic for him because the prosecution had him backed in the corner. And this is some of the stuff that they was asking old Tick. They said, was YSL at any point a gang? He said yes. They said, were you a member of the YSL gang? And he said yes. Now, mind you, he couldn't remember nothing the day before. Then, at some point, the prosecutor played a video. And let me say this to all of you young folks. You young minority, you young Latino, you young white guys that called yourselves as being in a gang, let me say this for the record. Y'all out here playing around on social media, video and everything. Y'all throwing up gang signs. That's exactly what the prosecutor put in front of him. She had him up there doing all kind of little signs. Then she hit the pause button. I remember specifically he had some signs where he was doing like this. So the prosecutor asked him, what exactly does this mean? He said it represents the symbol of having a gun. Okay. And so then she put up a video of Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, doing the gun symbol. And she asked Tick again. Matter of fact, she asked Tick at some point, for the record, is YSL a gang? He said yes. She asked him, can you name the members of the YSL gang? This fool said all of them. So finally she gets around to looking around the court. Can you tell me the YSL gang members that's in the court? That fool said all of them. All of them. So now he's already admitted that he's one of the founding members, and he's already said that all of them, including Jeffrey Williams, was a member of it. Then the prosecutor gets back to playing this video. And while she's playing the video, she turns to a video of Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, and he did, I can't even do it. I don't even want to do it because I don't even want to be seen on video throwing up no signs. Plus, I don't even know how to do it. But he made his hand look like, I thought it was a circle, but it had the little fingers placed a certain way. And she asked him, what does that stand for? And your homeboy, Young Tick, said, that's a B. And she said, B for what? What does the B stand for? This dude said for the blood gang, Bloods. So now you're throwing up gun symbols and you're throwing up alphabets that equate to blood. Then she showed him doing some other stuff. This fool, once again, young people, stop being stupid. Jeffrey Williams, on this particular day in court, he got a jacket on that says Spider, but it's a 5 in it. So I didn't know. I'm getting my gang affiliation knowledge on. So she asked him, aka Tick, what does the number 5 symbolize as it relates to the gang? And he said somehow 5 got something to do with the blood gang. Again, my gang knowledge is not where it needs to be. But he has said that that's what it means. So now the jury is turning around, and I didn't see the jury because, of course, they have them blocked out. But I got to imagine that somebody, aka Young Thug's attorneys, aka Jeffrey Williams' attorneys, somebody should have told him, fool, don't wear that coat up in here in the courtroom. Because now the jury can simply turn their heads and ask themselves, if this dude is throwing up gang signs, the B for blood, the gun, and Spider with a 5, and this gang member said that the 5 represents something associated or affiliated with blood, and he got the clothes on. That's how stupid we are. Now, I know some of y'all gonna say, well, that could have meant anything. Listen, people. Listen. This is why your sons and daughters are stupid. Because you think you can outsmart the legal system. It doesn't matter if you say it could mean 1,000 different things. I got you on video throwing up alleged gang signs. I got a gang member telling me what the signs mean, and I'm pretty sure they're going to march in 100 people over the next couple of weeks, whether it be police officers or gang members or other members of YSL who are going to testify that that's what that sign is. That's what it meant. They were claiming it. He was claiming to be a blood. Young people stop doing crimes first and foremost. And if you're going to do some crimes, do it like your granddaddy did. Do it by your lonesome. Stay off social media. Stop shooting videos of your ignorance thinking that it ain't going to never come back on you. This dude done got up there and went to confessing like Usher. Yes, I committed some crimes. Then the defense get up there and they say, well, weren't you just jealous? The jury don't care nothing about you talking about you jealous, because he wasn't jealous when he was shooting the video, Young Thug, with gang symbols. The jury ain't buying it. The jury already understand that Tick came out at first feeling some kind of way because it's tough to take the stand with a room full of gang members looking at you. And again, people, I'm saying this because I want you all to get the main point. The main point is this. When you're out here thinking that that group of dudes or females or that gang loves you, and as y'all like to say in the streets, we're going to stand solid. We're going to stand on business. We're going to be solid. We're going to take them charges and what come with it. They started off with 27 people in this RICO charge. 17 of them already took a plea deal. That tells you that the person you standing next to right now in the game, young folks, ain't gonna stand solid, ain't gonna stand 10 toes down, ain't gonna stand on business. They not gonna take them 20 years. The moment that the prosecution say, hey, I'll cut you a break. You're supposed to get 10 on this. I'm going to let you do 2 and give you credit for time served. And then I'm going to let you go home and do the rest on probation. They going to take that deal all the time. Why? Because if you was in the gang and you never committed no major crime, maybe you was just a little petty thief or you sold some weed, you ain't trying to do 20 years on a RICO charge with some fools that was doing high-level crimes, allegedly. So again, I wanted to put this in there tonight. And parents, y'all, a lot of y'all don't make y'all little bad kids, no matter how old they are. You don't make them watch something worthwhile. I'm encouraging you all to pull up on YouTube on that big 70-inch screen in your living room and require your child watch this Young Thug trial so they can see that absolutely positively you ain't got no friends in the gang that's going to stand on this. So you need to stop standing on foolishness. Stop letting folks convince you to commit crimes that you're going to do all the time for. And if you don't do the time, your homeboy is going to have it so you can't even walk on your own street. Or if the prosecutor offer you a deal for less time, you're going to have to be in jail watching your back because they talk about you a rat or a snitch because you was part of an organization that somebody told you commit some crimes and we all going to stay solid and silent. Look, people, I got to go. I just want y'all to know that. Glad to be back. 2024. Remember our goal for the year. Mind your own business. Stay out of other folk business. Walk 3 miles a day and drink you 28 ounces of water or better and rock on with the rock on. I got to go. It's about that time, baby.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It's on.